Hi guys. I'm playing with this little light thing that my daughter got me for Christmas. It's supposed to make the lighting better. And you can see the little round things in my glasses. It drives me nuts. But I haven't talked in a while, so I thought I would do a little post from my room. Um, this is the end of my second week of classes. And it's all going very smoothly, much calmer than I was last semester, although still I haven't gotten all my grades back from last semester, number one. And number two, still they're not giving you that much information. Like you kind of have some general information about what the grading structure is going to be or what they're going to do, but you really can't start working on it yet, which is annoying to us Americans who want to be proactive. So, but the class is going good. One of the classes I'm taking is social power, which is talking about social power. It's talking about the power of our social and cultural surroundings. And I think we can see a lot of social power things happening right now in the United States politically. But this is talking about marginalized people. Yesterday we had a really great lecture on how we determined that there were races, which anthropology, which I've said this to people before, anybody who's listened to me, but there really are no difference between the races biologically. The difference between the races biologically are less different than we find within the races, right? The races that we have determined. Race is a social construct. It's something we make up. We made up. We did it. And now we all live with it. But biologically speaking, there's no difference between the races, right? And anthropology is added to the fuel to the fire way back when, that there were biological differences, and anthropologists did research on cranial size and stuff like that. But none of that is true. None of that holds true. Biologically, we really are not that different. And what is also funny is that one of the things I learned in a different class is that different countries have different social structures and different racial assignments. And in Brazil, and it's not all by the tone of your skin, right? It's not all by the color of your skin. In Brazil, they have about 15 different racial structures. And to you and me, we would say those were black people, but they're not. They're black with red hair. They're black with this kind. There's different things that identify them. Again, it's a social structure. Brazil made up this social structure. My professor is from Bangladesh, and she said until she moved to Ireland, she was not labeled as brown skinned, right? She's very fair, and but when she came to Ireland, they started calling her brown. People started describing her as brown, and until she moved to Ireland when she was 40, she never thought of herself as brown. So it's interesting the way that we socially divide ourselves into these racial structures. Now, culturally, obviously, there are differences, right? There are differences. There are some differences. Just like culturally, there are differences between the Irish community and the American community, right? There are differences between the Brazilian community and the Irish community. We all have our cultures. So, but they're not. But anyhow, race is a social construct. We made it up. Doesn't mean that it doesn't exist. Doesn't mean that socially there are connotations about being a certain race. Doesn't mean that you erase all that. It just means that whatever biological thing you assign to that, you're wrong. It's not that different. So, and then we talked about something called Orientalism, which personally, I never heard that word before, but these people all did. And it's racism against Asian people. And when they, for me, when I think of Asian people, this is my bias, my American bias, I think of China and Japan and that kind of stuff. We talked this whole class about Asian people, and we talked only about Middle Eastern Asian people. We talked about people from India and people from, and Muslims and that kind of stuff. So I thought that was an interesting difference between me and them. And I don't know if that's me American or just me personally. I don't know. So all those things that make you think and make you examine what you think and make you think about what you think. Do you know what I mean? But anyhow, it's a good class. Thinking about my field work, which is not going to be till the summer. My other class is learning how to write an ethnography, and in that they're going to teach us about taking pictures and drawing pictures and including all kinds of things besides just writing in our ethnography. So that'll be interesting. So that's good. So today I decided to, yesterday we had a red storm warning, a red wind storm warning. And we had started at 4 o'clock in the morning. We had heavy winds. We had, maybe, I think they said between 60 and 90 degree winds. I'm on the 8th floor. I wasn't out in them. I did have a friend at 1 o'clock in the morning who was walking home, and she said it was crazy out there. But not really much rain, really just wind. So like a hurricane maybe. But so it's a red warning. By 10 o'clock this morning, no more wind. Sunny. It was a beautiful day. So I got up to go out. And I thought I was going to do some sightseeing today. So about 2 o'clock, about 1:30 or 1 o'clock, I left the house to go do some sightseeing. And I was going to go to the Cork City Jail, which is like it looks like a big mansion. I think I posted some pictures on Facebook, but it's a cool place. It has a tour, an hour-long tour, all this stuff. So I walked there. I took a new route. So I was at a place that I walked by things I've never walked by before. And I got to the jail and it's closed because of the red weather warning, which was not happening anymore. So so then I decided to go into town and go to the movies. And I went to see The Brutalist, which, because it came out on the Oscars list. It's like 3 hours long. It had an intermission and everything. And maybe almost 4 hours long, maybe 3.5. But anyhow, it was interesting. I haven't processed how I feel about it yet. It was very long though. It went by fast, and I love the guy, the star, and I love the one woman who played his wife. I love those two people, but lots of bad things kind of happening. But I don't know. I can't figure out how I feel about it. But so there's that. Definitely good acting. Definitely interesting story. I thought it was a true story. It's not. It's completely fictional. So anyhow, there's that. And then I came home. I walked home. I didn't walk all the way home. I took the bus. And my apartment building was having a games night with food and games. And I checked it out, but I didn't stay because they were really board games and people were paired up with each other playing games. And it was mainly the young people, and it wasn't anybody I knew. I have about 4 or 5 people who I actually know from my building, but not that many. So that's that. What else do I want to talk about? I don't know. I guess that's it. Tomorrow will be a reading day. Tomorrow's Saturday. I'm going to read all the things I have to read for the week coming up. And then, I've been doing Zumba. I have figured out how to register for the Zumba class in time to get into it and go to it on Monday. You have to register for it. They open registration 2 days before the class, and you have to register for it. And always before, I tried to register for it on the day of. It's 6 o'clock on a Monday, and it's always full. So you have to register for. So now what I do is I register for it at 6 o'clock on Saturday when it first opens up. So I'm like the first person registered. I really enjoy it. There's a girl, the girl who leads the class reminds me very much of Melissa Sperko. I don't know if that's how she says her name. I've actually just realized I've never said it out loud. But she was my, not my Zumba teacher, but my work teacher. This girl is not as good as Alma is at Zumba. Alma is my Zumba teacher, but she's good. And she makes funny faces like Melissa did, and tries to get you engaged and comes out and dances with you and stuff. So I really liked her a lot. And so I'm trying to make that my habit. And so far I've gone twice. So that's as good a habit as I get. And then tonight I'm just going to chill, eat some leftover pizza, and watch some TV. And then tomorrow I'm going to study. So trying to get into a little habit, but also trying to add into that habit some sightseeing, because I didn't do that much sightseeing last time. And also trying not to let the weather distract me from my sightseeing, because it's always cold here. I mean, it's 50. So it's really not that cold. It's 40 or 50 in the day. And if it's sunny out, it's quite lovely. But it's funny what you get used to, because if I were in Charleston or Somerville, I'd be thinking that was freezing. And then also, so last week I went to Dingle. I think I can't remember if I posted anything about Dingle, but yeah, I went to Dingle, and it's really the trip to Dingle is what's pretty. It's big mountains, through the mountains, overlooking the ocean. I got some great shots. Went to the beach for about 20 minutes. I actually was late. The guy said, "Oh, you have 20 minutes." And I went out to the beach and I kind of wandered around a little bit. And all of a sudden, here he comes running down this thing, waving his hand, saying, 20 minutes are up. I'm like, oh, who knew? We got to pet some baby lambs. I didn't get any pictures of myself with the lambs, but they were cute as could be. Then ate a nice dinner in town of Dingle. I'm going to Dingle in the summer for the weekend for an anthropology conference, so that'll be fun. And I kind of wanted to get the lay of the land, which I really didn't do, because he dropped us off right at the wharf side, and I went right across the street to the restaurant. There was only like one restaurant. Like it's off season, so things are closed. And not only is it off season, but it was a Sunday, so things were closed. So I didn't really shop or anything there. But it does look like a cute little town, and I think it'll be a lot of fun in April when we go. And so that was fun. And they have this one place, it's called Paddy Wagon. It has a couple of tours. It has that. I've already done the Ring of Kerry with them last semester. It has a trip to the Cliffs of Moher. So on a nice day, I'll try to do that. And then, although I've been there once before with Arwen and Jermaine. And then the other one is, the Blarney Castle, which I don't know if I'll do a tour for that or if I'll just take a bus there, because there's a bus that just goes right to the Blarney Castle. It's probably $8 instead of $50. So trying to do trying to put some sightseeing stuff in the middle. And it's my goal is to take the bus to all of the little towns that any buses here go to that's within 2 or 3 hours. Like Galway is about 3 hours, and it's it's a bus ride. It's an $8 bus ride, but it's a 3-hour bus ride. In between here in Galway is Limerick. So could potentially do both those towns in one trip. If I left early enough, I could spend a couple hours in Limerick and then a couple hours in Galway. Maybe spend the night in Galway. I don't know. And then Skull, I want to go to Skull. I've been to Baltimore. I don't think I'll go there again. And I've been to Skibbereen. That's where we go on our trip that I take with the students. So I don't know if I'll go to either one of those places again. But anyhow, there's all these little towns that you could go and take a little bus to. So I'm going to figure out what all they are and do them. And then Clonakilty, I've been to already twice, but I really liked the fancy hotel I went to. It was really nice, and I took a walk down to their little beach, and it was a nice walk, and it was pretty. I have not found any place to just walk in the wild of Ireland, just take a walk on the mountainside, and that I would like to figure out how to do. But, oh, and I met some women when I was on my little trip going to Dingle. I was 45 minutes early, of course, and so people were passing me by, and there were these two women who came from Manchester, England. They said it's a $36 round trip plane fare from Manchester to Cork, and they came for the day. And it was 8 o'clock in the morning, and they got up at 5 o'clock in the morning, and they got on the plane, and they came, and they were going to stay till 10 o'clock at night, and then they were going to go home. And they were looking at all the sights there were to see, and I was thinking, oh, you're so good at that. I should come with you. They were going to the Marina Market, which I've never been to. They were going to go to, Shannon Bell's, which was close to where I was. They were going to go to the jail, which is what made me think I need to go to the jail. So going to try to do all the Corky things also. Okay, that's it. Have a great night, and I'll talk to you in a couple weeks. Bye.